channel. So we thought this would be a cool idea. So the first question is, how can you tell when a guy likes you back? I think most of the time it is pretty obvious. They want to spend a lot of time with you. They want to hear about your life, your goals. It could apply as well to just friends. But there are sometimes a little bit flirting involved, and they are like very personal questions which really you don't need to know as a friend. Sometimes it depends on the person, of course, but I think the difference between being a friend and a romantic interest in terms of talking is just the flirting side of it. I know it can be hard sometimes to tell the difference, but you know, a guy will compliment you a lot. They wanna go out, just the two of you, no other people around, just the two of you. There's a lot more depth and maybe a bit more eye contact and like smiling. But again, it entirely depends on the person. Some guys literally do act exactly as if you were a friend and nothing more because they're too scared. But most of the time it is pretty obvious. Do guys talk about girls they like with their friends? Guys definitely do talk about the girls that they are dating, but not to that extreme detail that women usually do. It's more like, it's more about in general how awesome they are and how and what they do and how cute they are and so on. But like, we don't go into extreme detail because that's usually like a private thing between the partners, at least for the guys. So it feels like it's just a thing between the two people who are together and cherish those moments together and don't want to share that much with other people, because guys in general, like most guys in general, are not really that vulnerable with each other, so they don't go talking in extreme detail how amazing they are. They do mention it, but it's like, it's a small mention and that's about it. Unless, of course, they are talking with their best friends, then it might get into more of that category. But with casual friends, it's just like, yeah, I guess I'm dating that person. Yeah, she's cool. And that's about it. Which ties into another question, which is, why do they act differently in front of their friends? For example, when their girlfriend is with them and they are also with their friends, they might act differently because there are different social groups and you might have a different personality in those groups. So when you have a girlfriend, you tend to be more vulnerable and giddy and childlike, and that's really cool. But when you're with your guy friends, you don't get that vulnerable, so it can kind of mess with your head sometimes when two different groups are together. Guys tend to just talk more on the surface. I think that is actually a problem, but most guys, yeah, do talk more on the surface and just have fun and don't go into very deep talks. So that's why there's like a small wall, and that's why they act so called differently with their friends. And also they don't want to show their friends that they do have a vulnerable side, because that's usually because we have already established what kind of friendship we have. So when we do show like a vulnerable side to us, messes up the vibe of the group. I'm not saying it's healthy, but I'm just saying what it is, because we tend to be more vulnerable with our girlfriends than our actual friends. Do guys care about stretch marks? This was a shock to read because I haven't heard anyone talk about how they don't like a woman's stretch marks. Not one person. Not in my life. Not me. Not anyone on the internet either. It's more like a cool thing to have, I think, and more like you're like very proud to have that type of thing. I personally also have stretch marks, and I thought they were just a very cool attribute to my body. It's like a personal tattoo without going to a tattoo artist, and it's like a cool scar. Guys love scars, at least on themselves. I don't know about women, but I don't. It's possibly the same as the stretch marks. It's just like a cool attribute to your body. Who should pay on the first date? Who should pay on the first date? It depends on the culture. But if we're talking about, nowadays, and not how it used to happen back then, I think it should be 50-50. I heard a lot about like the one who asked to the date, that one should pay, but I don't agree with that. It's like both people have agreed to go on a date, both pay their parts. It's fine to pay your partners or like the date's dinner or whatever. It's fine, but I don't think it's fine to expect it. If that makes sense. Like if people expect you to pay, it's more like it shows that this thing that we're doing, whatever it is that we're doing, is not really equal. So, and I think a relationship should be as equal as possible, balanced. Of course, we can't always be equal on things, and we gotta compromise. But that's what communication is all about. So it entirely depends. But I personally like 50-50 because, it's fair. It's the beginning stages. You can like do gifts and stuff later, because you like that person and you wanna see them happy and stuff. But like when you're just starting, I think it's better to do 50-50. But you can pay as well. It's totally fine. Just don't expect it. What dating habits annoy you the most? Things that people do in dating, right? Or things that you should be doing in dating. I'm a bit confused by the question. Let's just go with things that are annoying to do or to see in a relationship. It's when, for example, a person is trying to change you. It is always fine to improve and become a better version of yourself, but you cannot change the base of the entire person. A person doesn't feel loved for who they are, but rather who they could be, and that adds a lot of stress to the relationship. I think you shouldn't be with a person if you didn't really like them to begin with, but are just trying to change that person. Also, jealousy shouldn't be a thing. It shouldn't be a thing. You should trust your partner. Without trust, there is nothing. That was a you reference. I don't always want to make the first move. I don't mind taking the lead. But if you're always taking the lead and always starting the conversations and things like that, it can make a guy feel like the person rejection. So when a girl is asking a guy out, there's a very high chance of him saying yes because it has never happened, and they respect it. They respect it. There's also the importance of talking about how your futures are looking like, because what if one day someone wants a different thing than you, and now you're in a relationship and it's like inevitable that you will break up. So it's important to have those conversations as well. Also, never compare your partner to your ex. Never ever, don't even bring out exes until it's a topic at hand. Don't just bring out exes out of the blue unless someone asks. Just exes are exes, you know. They're not your future. You can talk about them when a topic comes up, but do not compare yourself or compare your partner to your ex. That's literally the worst thing you could do. Well, not the worst thing, but one of the worst things you can do. I had an ex who did compare me to her ex, and I mean, just remember like being like, why? Just why? I don't need to know this information. I know some people do it because they know the mistakes that their ex made, and they want to tell you those mistakes so you don't make those mistakes. But it still feels to guys that you still haven't gotten over your ex, if that makes sense. Like, you can just have that conversation without mentioning your ex. Do your parents influence you who you might date? This was also a shock to read because maybe it's a cultural thing, like in Asian countries. I'm not familiar, don't cancel me. But no, for guys, for every guy that I know, parents do not influence anything when it comes to dating. I'd say it's more about friends, but that too is because of insecurity. Like, oh, what would my friends think? Even if I like the person, what would my friends think? Maybe my friends don't like that kind of person. So, but that's also from I wouldn't say it's all guys, it's just some insecure guys who could feel that way when they have friends. But parents wise, I haven't heard that like at all. Do you mind if your girlfriend has a lot of guy friends? If they are only guy friends, then it's a bit sus. But if they have some guy friends, it's fine. Although there is always that one guy who is being a bit too personality wise, I think it's also possible. Yeah. There needs to be clear communication that nothing is happening. I have women who are friends, and they are very attractive. But I have had talks with them just in case that nothing is happening when we do get like a bit closer, or just like hints of nothing happening. There needs to be a communication about that. But it's a very gray area, because if you are friends and you find each other attractive, I mean, you are friends, that means you must like the person a bit anyway, right? And you find them physically attractive. So, like, why wouldn't you go and be with them or try something? But there needs to be something that isn't the quality of a partner. And if you find that something, I think you can still be just friends. But if they have too many good qualities and they are attractive, then it's it can get very iffy, to say politely. But guys and girls can be friends if they are not attracted to each other or attracted